Hello everyone, how are you all? Welcome to Science Tutorial with D. Dwivedi. Children, this video is in continuation of previous video. In our previous video, we have studied about the uses of water and its sources. Now, in this video, we will study about distribution of water on the earth, water cycle followed by how are clouds formed and how does water go back to the ocean. So the first topic which I am going to explain today in this video is distribution of water on the earth. Children, water is found in different forms on the earth. If we look at the distribution of water, about 71% of the earth is covered with water and only 29% is land. And around 97% of this water is found in seas and oceans. This water is called marine or saline water as it has large amount of dissolved salt in it. That is why it is not fit for drinking. The remaining 3% is fresh water. We call it fresh water because dissolved salt content is very less and that is a reason why it is fit for drinking. And of the total fresh water, major part is locked in glaciers and ice caps, followed by underground water, and just a small amount is water located in rivers and lakes. So we can compare this small amount of water which is available for drinking with the total water available in the earth. And this is the reason why we must put an effort to conserve water. Here I remember the lines of the famous poem Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Children, it stands true completely in case of planet Earth. As we have seen just now that vast majority of the Earth's surface is covered with water, but only a small portion of it is fit for drinking. Children, water plays very important role in the survival of all living organisms. Where there is a water, there is a life. Not only the vast part of the earth is covered with water. Do you know? About 70% of human body weight is made up of water. An average person could live without food for a month, but we cannot live without water even for a week. So dear children, I hope you must have understood why we should conserve water. Next we study about water cycle. So before explaining the water cycle, I would like to explain how are clouds formed. Children, one of the most common sights in nature are the clouds. In terms of weather, they are simply visible masses of tiny water droplets. And a whole branch of study called cloud physics is dedicated to understanding this cotton candy looking phenomena. Children, when the sun shines over the rivers, lakes and oceans of the world, it heats up the surface of the water. The water turns into water vapors on being heated. This process is called evaporation and begins to rise into the air. As it goes higher, the water vapors begins to cool down and turns back into the water droplets. This process is called condensation. Condensation is just opposite of evaporation. Due to condensation, water vapors condenses into water to form clouds. Or we can say it is these teeny droplets of water that remains floating in the air and appears to us as clouds. It so happens that many droplets of water come together to form large-sized drops of water. Some drops of water become so heavy that they begin to fall. These falling water drops are what we call rain. In a special condition, it may also fall as hail or snow. Children, you must have heard about the processes like evaporation, condensation, precipitation and collection involved in water cycle. Let us study about all these processes in detail. The sun heats up the water from ocean, lakes and rivers, and water changes into water vapor by the process of evaporation. Means on heating, the water from the water bodies converts into water vapors. This process is called evaporation. Plants also lose water in the form of water vapor from their leaves into the air by the process of transpiration. As the water vapor rises up into the air, it starts cooling down and form tiny water droplets. These water droplets come together to form cloud. This process is called condensation. Condensation is just opposite of evaporation. When the clouds start getting heavy and cannot hold the water droplets anymore, they fall back to the earth as rain. This process is called precipitation. Some of the water that falls on the earth seeps into the ground. This water is available to us in the form of groundwater. The remaining water falls back into ocean, lakes, rivers and seas. This process is called collection. The sun starts heating up this water once again. The circulation of water is called water cycle. So, we can define water cycle as water cycle describes the continuous movement of evaporation, condensation, precipitation of water molecules. Children, it would be easy for you to understand all the processes of water cycle one by one with the help of this picture. The sun's heat warms the water and water vapors forms. The water vapors rises. This water vapor cools and changes into water drops by the process of condensation. Fourth, these water drops stick together to form clouds. Fifth, clouds become heavy and rain falls. This process is called precipitation. Sixth, rainwater goes underground or into rivers, ponds, lakes and oceans. This is called collection. Dear children, you have to draw this water cycle in your notebook. You have to write the name of all the processes and the same picture you have to draw in your notebook. Now, the next topic is loss of water by plant. Children, we know that roots absorb water and minerals from the soil to the plant. Plants use a part of this water to prepare their food and retain some of it in their different parts. But most of the water absorbed is lost in the form of water vapor into the air. This process is called transpiration. It means water vapor enters the air through the processes of evaporation and transpiration. Bujo has been reading about transpiration. He asked himself how much water is lost through transpiration by wheat plants that give us 1 kilogram of wheat. He found out that this is nearly 500 liters. That is roughly 25 large-sized buckets full of water. Can you now imagine the amount of water lost by plants of all the forest, crops and grassland together? So dear children, I believe that you all have understood all the processes involved in water cycle. Here part 2 of lesson 14 is completed. In our next video, in part 3, we will study about rainwater harvesting, floods and droughts. Thanks for today. Have a nice day. Take care.